Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about my labour and delivery story. Bit traumatic to say the least. Well, there's probably more traumatic births, well there must definitely be, but for me this was quite a traumatic experience just because, well, I'm easily traumatised and I've never experienced anything like this before. So, where do we begin? So I started on Monday the 12th of March, which was actually my due date. 2 AM in the morning, started getting like period cramps and stuff, which I didn't think anything of because I got them like 2 weeks before anyway, on and off, and I just thought, here we go again, another like false alarm, and I was getting annoyed because I just thought, you know, when's it going to be the real thing? So I was up all night with that from 2 AM because they were just annoying. They weren't bad, real painful, they were just annoying and uncomfortable. So I just sort of stayed up all night. And then Monday morning came and they were getting worse, like more painful, but still not really bad. I started to try and time them, thinking like, I did it before, I started trying to time my contractions and you know, just hoping that they would be like regular so that I could go to the hospital, but they'd never had been before, and this time they were like coming every 10 minutes, so I don't know, they weren't that regular again, so I was like, oh, it's obviously a false alarm, which was fine because I thought I don't really want to go into labour on that day anyway, because I was planning to go to Frankie and Benny, so I thought, you know, I could do without going into labour today really. But yeah, anyway, the day carried on. I started to get quite bad pains, but they were only lasting like 30 seconds, so I could deal with it. It wasn't like agony, and it was, yeah, it was fine. Started timing them. They were like every 5 minutes apart then. They were just coming more and more regular basically all day until it must have been about 4 PM, and I just thought, I can't take this at the moment, like I need to ring the hospital. So I was so scared of like just the baby coming out at home, and also I like was starting to lose my mucus plug as well, so like every time I go to the toilet there'd be like bits of blood, and I was like, is this normal? Like I knew it was, but I was just panicking a bit because I thought, this is a bit weird. So yeah, we got a Domino's then. I didn't eat any because I was in so much pain. Every time I go to get a bite I'd get a contraction, so I just couldn't eat my Domino's, which was gutting really, because I had no dinner that day. I did have egg on toast at lunchtime luckily, but no, I didn't have any dinner. So then I rang up the hospital, and yeah, because before they told me like they needed to be 90 seconds and coming every 3 minutes. So kind of waited till I just couldn't take the pain anymore. About, I think it was like 6 PM or something. Around about that time I went to the hospital. I was in real bad pain. I had to be wheeled in a wheelchair because I couldn't walk. And then I got to the hospital and like they started doing their observations and stuff, and I just seemed to like not be in as much pain, and I didn't even notice that I wasn't in as much pain until they said like, you don't really seem in pain. And I was like, I'm not actually, like a bit awkward. So yeah, I wasn't in pain, so they sent me home basically and said to come back, and they were just like, sometimes it happens, like it will die down, because I'm really nervous in the hospital, so they said that's probably why they died down. So I come home thinking, oh well, I'll get a good night's sleep tonight and then come back in the morning. But as soon as I got home they came back, and this time they were excruciating. I thought I was in agony before. No, this was real intense, and I just wasn't even getting like a break between them. And to be honest with you, the amount of pain, I thought like the baby's just going to come out in a minute surely, because it can't get worse. So I went back to the hospital. It was about 11 PM on the Monday, and yeah, this time I ended up staying. I don't really know why, because they died down again when I got there, but not that much. I was kind of breathing through them, and I got on that birth ball thing, and it was, to be fair, it was fine. Like I thought, oh, I'm doing so well. I'm probably like 9 centimetres dilated, and I'm literally like not even on any pain relief. I was so proud of myself. Because they hadn't checked me yet, because I didn't want to be checked, because I thought I'll go as long as I can, because if I'm checked and I'm only like 2 centimetres or something, I'll be really annoyed because of how long I've been in labour for. So yeah, but in my head I was like, I'm 9 centimetres, is like, you know, it's fine. So I got in the pool. Actually, before I got in the pool, just something, because my pulse was so fast, because I panic a lot, like I just really do panic, they didn't know whether that they could hear the baby's heartbeat or if it was my pulse, so they had to make sure. So I had to have one of those things like where they tie like loads of stuff to your stomach to monitor the baby. But she was fine, like it was me that was panicking, she was fine. So that was good. So then I got in, like this room that I was in, this suite at the hospital was lush, like it was pure luxury. I thought, God, this isn't a hospital, it's like a hotel. So I got in this bath, and I love baths, and it was so warm and nice for about 5 minutes. And I was like, I can't do this, I need some pain relief. But if I wanted pain relief, I had to be checked how dilated I was. And I was so scared, I was like, oh, I don't want to be checked, like it's disgusting. So they gave me a bit of gas in there while they checked me. And to be fair, it wasn't too bad, like it's a bit weird, but you know. The worst part about that was that I started like bleeding after, and like every time I got up there'd be like more and more blood, and I was just like, oh, I don't know, it just made me feel a bit sick, like there was so much blood. Anyway, they checked me and I was only 3 centimetres dilated, and I was like, are you joking? Like, I'm in agony. Like, I was fuming. I thought it's taken me like 16 hours or more to get to that. But anyway, we had some pethidine then, and to tell you the truth, it was the worst thing I've ever taken. It didn't make me feel good. It was meant to make me feel relaxed and sleepy, but I was panicking so much because I just didn't feel right that I didn't sleep. I was just sitting on the bed and like trying to pace around, I think. I don't really remember, but I remember feeling really sick and I remember panicking. So it just wasn't working. And my boyfriend and my mum was there, and they were trying to get to sleep, and there was just me like rocking on the bed like, no, I'm scared. Like, get this drug out of me. Like, I need to reverse the effects, because it was vile. I just didn't like it. I just felt so spaced out, like almost like I don't even know, like I just wasn't there. It was horrible. So that wore off, and I don't know what time it was by now. It was quite late. Like, well, not late, well yeah, late in the night, but early hours of the morning. I think it was like 4 AM when it wore off. I remember them coming back, and they didn't really know what to do with me because of how much I was panicking. They were like, you know, like, what are we going to do? Because basically they didn't want to give me gas and air yet because it was too early, but I was in agony and I couldn't have more pethidine because I was just panicking. So yeah, I was getting into a bit of a mess, and I remember someone being like, do you want jam and toast? And I was like, no, not really, I just want my baby. Like, I don't want jam on toast, I'm not hungry, I just want the baby now. So I can't remember what happened, because I don't know if they left me again for a few hours. I don't know, I don't remember like sort of the next few hours because I was a bit out of it still. But then I remember, I think it was about 7 AM, someone came down and was like, you know, you can either stay here for more and see if you get more dilated, or we can break your waters. And I must have chose that because I was in agony. So then they took me to the other delivery suite, like it wasn't going to be as sort of relaxed labour, because yeah, it was just not as simple, I guess, because they had to break the waters then. I don't remember them breaking my waters. I remember water coming out, and I was like, I'm bleeding, and they're like, no, it's water. But I genuinely thought I was bleeding out, like, oh, it was horrible. I just felt like loads of liquid. I don't remember what they did, so it must not have hurt. But I had pain relief, but I don't know what pain relief. I think I had more pethidine. Well, I did, yeah, but I don't know why I agreed to that. I think it's because it was that or an epidural, and I was like, no, I'm not having an epidural. So I had the pethidine again, and this time it worked. Like, I wasn't panicking. I was very, very sleepy, so I was just kind of drifting in and out of sleep, and it was quite nice. They did a few bits to me, like they kept checking how dilated I was, which was a bit odd. Well, not odd, I know they've got to, but I don't know, it's just a bit uncomfortable feeling. It's weird when I think about it now. At the time I didn't care. And then I remember them clipping something to the baby's head to hear her heartbeat. I remember that. Yeah, it was odd. Like, I remember loads of stuff happening. I don't know what order. I just don't. I remember them being like, right, you need to go to the toilet because you haven't been to the toilet in hours. And I was like, well, I don't need to go. Like, can you not force me? I can't go. And every time I went to the toilet, I just felt like the baby was just going to pour out. Well, not pour, but, you know, just fall out of me. There was just so much pressure. And then they were like, right, you know, you need to look after your bladder. And I was like, well, I'm not neglecting it. I just don't need the loo. But, you know, fair enough. Oh, what's that? So, basically, that happened. And I'm just trying to remember. Yeah, so they stuck a catheter in me, yeah, to like drain my bladder. Like, it was just a temporary one. So they stuck that in and that worked apparently. I remember, and then I remember them being like, God, she's got no fluid, like, and I was obviously not had much energy left because I'd been up for 2 nights straight and it was like afternoon by now. So they gave me like drip, like they put me on a drip and gave me IV fluids to like get my fluids up. And once again, jam on toast was brought in. I don't even know, if I had a penny for every time they asked me if I wanted some jam on toast, I'd be rich. I had so much jam on toast, didn't eat it, but it was there. I just remember chewing on this jam on toast and then spitting it all out because it was just horrible. Like, I just couldn't digest it, no. And then, I don't know, as I've said, I don't know what happened, but it's just all a blur now because I was on gas and air and that was working real well for me. Apparently I was saying some real odd stuff. Like, they asked me what the baby's name was and I was like, yeah, what did they say? What's the baby's name? And I said, home. Where did you get that or something? And I was like, Home Sense, because actually, come to think of it, because I know I said that because I got these like letters of her name from Home Sense, but I didn't even get them from Home Sense. I got them from the range, so I don't know why I said that. I don't know what I was saying. I was saying some pretty odd stuff though. And they were like they were telling me stuff and I was like, no, like, I'm real switched on. I was like, no, this isn't right. And I think they were a bit like, oh, you know, I don't want to really like say too much, but there was so many doctors and midwives there and I didn't realise till after it wasn't normal. Like, apparently they leave you and stuff normally, but I had someone there the whole time that I was in labour. Like, I had several doctors and stuff like that. Anyway, what happened then? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I remember then that the baby's heartbeat started to drop. Yeah, that was before the fluids, because that's why they gave me the fluids. They thought I was dehydrated, so they gave me them to... And then they took blood, and I just remember people being like, oh yeah, this is low, and I was just so out of it. I don't... Normally I'd be panicking about stuff like that, but I just didn't care. It was weird. And then I remember like needing to push. Like, I got this big urge to push all of a sudden. And I couldn't stop it, and I was going to them, I need to push, and they were like, no, like, we need to check how dilated you are. And I was like, oh, well, hurry up, because, like, you know, I'm going to push the baby out. You can't stop it. It, like, just takes over your body, and you, like, just need to push. Well, like, I couldn't help it, I just pushed. And then I kept going, I've pooed, because I genuinely thought, I don't know if I did, but I genuinely thought I did. And I know it's your baby. But yeah, when they checked me, I think I was like 9 centimetres, and then I did go on to 10, but I was pushing at 9 because it was just so, oh, that urge, I won't forget that urge. It's like needing a poo times a million, I swear. So, yeah, it came to the time when I was pushing, and I just remember going, she's got loads of dark hair, and I was just like, and I was just listening to like the music in the background, and it was motivating me, and I was just like, I'm going to get this baby out. Because I remember this woman kept like saying to me, right, I finish at 7, like, we need to get this baby out before I go home. And I was like, okay. not much pressure then, honey. But yeah, like I had to get the baby out before 7, and that's what I kept thinking in my head. So yeah, like I was doing all right with the pushing. I don't know how I had the energy because I was knackered, but somehow I was pushing and pushing. They kept going, right, we're going to try and push on every other one, and I was like, no, I'm pushing on every contraction, like it's coming out. I can't hold the push in. And then they bought in this like scan machine to scan, like see the baby. I don't know why, and I could just see like half a baby in me then, and I was like, okay, well it's obviously coming out, so that's good news. But God, yeah, I was pushing like hell. I really was, for an hour apparently. That's what it says on my sheet, an hour and 2 minutes. And then all of a sudden they were like, right, don't push on this contraction. And I was like, okay. And I really tried, but my body just took over. And then all of a sudden, I just saw this baby like fly through the air. I'm not even joking, it just flew, and they were like, whoa. And then they caught her, and then, yeah. And then they like handed her to me, and I was just like, oh my God. But because I was so high, I was just like, I just remember going, oh my God, she's so beautiful. Like I was shouting it. I know normally I would have cried because I would have been so happy, but I was so high, I don't even know, but it was funny. And then they took the baby off me, because after that I remember going, I'm bleeding. I could just feel like blood come in, and I could see it. It was everywhere, and I thought, no, this ain't normal. So they took the baby off me and gave her to my mum, and yeah, like that happened, and I could see them like getting it away and weighing it. I just saw like big sheets being pulled off the bed and like just taken away, and I was just like, that's a bit weird. And then they'd come back and they'd be like, yeah, that's 1 point so and so, and I'd be like, okay. And then the placenta like dropped out, and that was something else. I was expecting like a cute organ, like a little one. No, it was like that. Like no wonder, like, you know, I've lost quite a bit of weight since I gave birth. I think half of it was that stupid placenta thing. I don't know what it was. Oh, it was awful. I mean, yeah, it's a good thing, but it was weird. That scared me a lot. Just all this meat like being taken. So yeah, I just started to like bleed out really, like, and then yeah, they said something about stitches, and that I needed like a 3rd degree stitch and 2 others. So I had 3 stitches. One was the 3rd degree, and I don't know what the other 2 were. I don't know if they were 2nd or 3rd, or 2 seconds and a 3rd. I don't know, but anyway, I know that there was definitely 1/3, because she was just talking to me in my ear, and I couldn't understand. I couldn't really process what was being said to me. I was just like, yeah. And they made me sign something. I was like, that's fine. And then the next thing, I'm being wheeled down into the theatre, and my boyfriend was meant to come with me, but I don't know, he didn't come because no one really mentioned it, so I rolled down on my own, but it was fine. I wasn't fussed. I got there, I just remember like them going, right, can you sit up? And I thought, well, I feel a bit faint, to be honest, like, because then I heard them go, right, so it's a total of 1.8 lost, and I was just like, God, that's a lot. But I didn't really care. All I could imagine was like big litres of bottles of Coke, like 2-litre bottles, and I remember like picturing that in my head and thinking, oh, it's not quite one of them, that's not too bad. But no, it was quite a lot, because then they were like, right, do we need 2 bags of blood or 3 bags of blood? And I was just like, well, if you don't hurry up and get the blood, then I'm going to lose more, because it was just coming out. Like, that's all I remember, is it just keep coming out and coming out every time they moved me. And someone was like, yeah, it's just in the fridge, the blood's just in the fridge. And I just remember like thinking, why the hell is it in the fridge, like with milk and cheese and all that? But obviously it was probably like a fridge full blood, but I just thought it was like a normal fridge. I was just so confused. And then yeah, they sat me up and they were like, bend down, and I just remember trying not to like collapse because I felt so dizzy. And then they just inserted like a needle, like it was the anaesthetic thing. Then I lay back down. I remember them sticking loads of stickers onto my heart and stuff like that to monitor me. And yeah, I just remember like hearing noises like beep, beep, beep. And then I woke up and then they were like, God, you fell asleep through all of that. And I was like, what? Like, so you've literally been down there doing stuff to me and I didn't even know. Oh, so yeah. Then I got wheeled back through to some recovery room, and then the baby was brought in. And I just remember them being like, do you want a pink cat? Should we get a pink cat for her? And I was like, to be honest, I don't care like what colour the hat is. I just want the baby, you know. And then I saw her properly, and I was still a bit high, but I was coming round a bit. And yeah, then we had our like skin to skin contact thing, and it was really nice. Yeah. And then I just stayed in the hospital. I went back through to another room, some ward, and I just lay there and stayed for a couple of nights. Hello. But yeah, she's so lovely. I don't really know how I got through it all, but I did, so I'm pretty proud of myself. Stitches are bad. I'll probably do another video and I'll talk about like the aftermath, because this video is like 20 minutes long now. But yeah, I'll do another video where I talk about the aftermath, because I stayed in hospital for a couple of nights after, and yeah, that was not very fun. But yeah, so we're doing well, we're doing all right. I'm still getting there with the recovery. The stitches are killing, but she's doing very, very well, aren't you? We've got the midwife coming now, so I'm gonna go, but I'll just show you a little close-up of her, because she's so cute. And she won't be fed in a minute, I think, but look at her. Hello. She's so cute. And that's her, baby Alea, isn't it? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope I haven't put you off giving birth if you're planning to. It's not that bad. I mean, if I can do it, anyone can. But I just thought I'd share it with you, because I used to like watching these videos when I was pregnant, even though they didn't really like, it didn't really matter to me, because obviously what's going to happen is going to happen. Like I was dreading having like a hemorrhage, and then I had one. I couldn't have prevented it, so it's just the way it is. Anyway guys, I'll see you soon. I'm gonna go and get ready, have a shower and get dressed now. See you guys soon. Bye.